teams in the world and the Intel Extreme Masters World Champions from Russia. It's gonna be, przywitajcie na scenę, Moscow 5. Okay. Next up would be, but we're gonna try something else. Spróbujemy troszeczkę czegoś innego. Wywołacie drużynę wy. Nazwa drużyny EloHell. Wychodzi na mecz kto? 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 Zapraszam. Okay. Jaws, let's try to interview one player from each team. So Moscow 5, if you can please take your seats. And Alexic, możesz сюда, зайка. Guys, have a seat. EloHell może chyba się obrazi na mnie publiczność, jeżeli Szuszeja nie zaprosimy. Szuszej, zapraszam. Siadajcie, chłopaki. Jad, Polish, English, Russian, I can translate it, no problem. Okay. Take it away.
Alexic, this is your first live event since DreamHack. How do you feel going into this tournament?
To wasz pierwszy turniej od czasu DreamHacka. Jak się czujecie? Na каком хочешь отвечать?
На английском, in English. So we are feeling like much more confident than we were feeling in DreamHack. We won almost every tournament, online tournament I mean, that we were playing lately. Of course, there were no teams like CLG, Navi, and others, but still there were some strong teams. So meta changed, patch changed, and it is much more suited for us than it's suited us before.
Tak więc drużyna M5 jest bardzo dobrze przygotowana. Od czasu DreamHacku wygrali niemalże właściwie wszystkie turnieje. Brakowało tych dużych drużyn w nich, ale czują się dobrze. Nowy patch, nowa metagra, która bardzo im odpowiada.
Now, Shushay, I believe this is your first...
Wait,
oh, sorry.
Wait. Kto będzie mówił? Kto? Kto? Go ahead.
I think you have some fans in the audience, Shushay.
Yeah, probably.
So, I believe this is your first live event in a while, correct?
Yes, after Korea, it's my first one.
So, how does it feel to be back and be playing in Warsaw?
Yes. Okay. Okay, it's an awesome feeling to be back here. Jest niesamowicie. And to be honest, it's the best event I've been so far. Yeah.
Maybe a question from me for M5. Pytanie ode mnie. Czy nie boicie się tej publiki? Are you scared of this crowd here?
I think that when we are playing, we are fully focused on the game, so we just don't notice the public. I mean, the only problem can be the noise, but it is everywhere on LAN events, and it's not dependent on the public. So we hope that public will cheer for us anyway.
Tak więc na pytanie, czy się... I brawo ode mnie dla was. Na pytanie, czy się nie boi was, odpowiedział, że na ogół są tak skupieni na meczu, że właściwie tego nie zauważają. Czasem tylko można słychać hałas, ale nie wpływa on na grę z uwagi na to, że na wszystkich dużych turniejach to występuje. And Shushay, and anything to say to these guys in Polish?
Demastia! I dzięki za wsparcie. Nie zawiedziemy was. Mamy taką nadzieję.
So one last time in Polish. Kto wygra mecz? Kto? Kto? Dziękuję bardzo. Thank you very much, guys. Take your seats. Let's give it back to the commentators.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to League of Legends, and you've just seen them there on the stage, and well, you know, pretty popular, I think Shushay is here. They seem to like him in Poland. I can't understand why.
I don't understand it either. It's not like he's part of the history of League of Legends
Indeed.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
and he's represented Poland
Yes,
for
the longest
many,
time.
well, you know, from season one, the hero, effectively, you know, they won season one. The absolutely outstanding New York they had as well, the Intel Extreme Masters. You know, they've had all sorts of fantastic results, but here he is in his new team. It is EloHell. You know, they've been showing off here. I think they've been enjoying themselves. They had a Nissan GTR Z the other day outside the hotel. That thing is loud, and you know, Shushay's doing like laps around this track. And well, as I say, a track, it's the hotel car park.
There was branding on it, right? On the
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
there's
It actually said
and
EloHell on
branding
the side, so they've been enjoying themselves. I feel, and you know what? They're not a bad team.
No.
They're not a bad team. I don't know how well they're going to do as a unit though. I mean, we've got all sorts of top players. And Kubon obviously was top laner for MYM recently. Obviously left them recently. Veggie has been a fantastic jungler. He's been across the EU Nordic East. I've seen him so many times. Shushay, of course, we know about. Shushay is the mid now, is he?
Yes, he is.
He is the mid,
Back
yeah.
home,
Which
back
is
home.
what he wanted to be. He always liked AP, and that's how it worked out for Fnatic in Season 1. You know, because he was a great AP champion in the mid,
Yep.
and it just happened to work out that at that time it was all about AP, double AP.
Yeah.
It's sort of creeping back in now at the moment. We just saw, you know, Wicked with Rumble on that top lane, something that possibly Shushay could play. He's definitely played a great Rumble before.
Yes, yes.
But they're up against Moscow 5.
The thing is that there used to be a time when you could pick a double AP into any kind of
Yeah.
comp, and that is clearly no longer the case. And if people know that you can only play double AP, then they can outpick you by
Yeah.
just forcing you into a bruiser pick you can't play. And we've seen that with Shushay time and again. In the end of his career with Fnatic, I think he went 1-9-1 on Olaf in top lane once, just because this
Yeah.
is not his style.
But he played a great Kennen, I remember at Intel Extreme Masters, but then, like you said, they just banned him out, and it was like, can't do a lot about it.
Gotta have more than one champion you can play.
They do, and interestingly, you say that CLG have mentioned, you know, they've been having an interview at the back. I was listening in on it. I was getting the information off Snoopy, and he mentioned, you know, since they've gone to Korea, they've opened up the champions they can play even more. I mean, they were always huge anyway. They could play so many champions, but now they said, you know, we've learned even more. And Jap mentioned it at the start of the last game. Alistair's a big thing in Korea. He'll either be banned or first picked, and they picked it straight away. However, you know, Moscow 5, what would you ban against them? Because they're another team that have got such a huge range of champions. It used to be we followed, you know, obviously we had the Kiev tournament and everyone went, right, well, that's easy. When you're playing Moscow 5, you ban out Gangplank, Shyvana, like you say, and
Lee Sin, maybe.
Lee Sin, yes. So they're the three that you will always ban out. Well, people started doing that. You know, CLGNA said, oh, it's easy, that's what we do. You know, all the junglers talking, all the talk that came out, TSM were big talkers, and nobody did it right. And Moscow 5 went 20, well, they are,
24
their current record is 20 wins, 4 losses online.
Yep.
3 of those losses came at the hands of CLG at DreamHack
Yep.
just last month, I think. I don't know what the date is. They're all kind of merging into one, but
Yes, it was last
just a
month.
few weeks ago. So they're coming into this with still probably one of the best records of any team
Ever.
in current League of Legends history, which is a pretty big thing. TSM are probably going to start challenging them on that score because they've had a pretty awesome record lately, but they're not here. But Moscow 5 are. So Moscow 5 are going to come into this one as huge, huge favourites. Now, can you see a way of how EloHell could pull something out here? Could they go for, say, a cheese strat or just something that might work? Because if I'm going to refer back to a Diamond Prox interview he had probably about a week or two ago. He said, you know, 90% of the time they won't work, but there is always that 10% where some crazy out there strategy that will just suddenly catch everyone off guard.
I think what they need to do, especially with a team that hasn't played together that much yet, they need to try and find that early game advantage. They need to play super aggressively and maybe convert that. So I expect Veggie to pick a very aggressive ganking jungler. I also expect Shushay to pick something very aggressive into mid. And there it is. It's a sort of a sign of respect. And I heard an "oh" go through the audience as well. But Shusha is not going to be playing Gragas.
No, they're like, what research have you done on EloHell? Well, they've got Shusha.
That's it, yes.
Sorry, no Gragas.
I do like the Lee Sin and Cillian bans as well. This shows that EloHell have been doing their research.
Yes.
Diamond Proc's stronger than ever on Lee Sin, and there is a specific strat that they like playing, which is Cillian Jax currently. And the bans are going so quickly, you can barely keep up. But Cillian Jax is not going to happen because Cillian is out of it. Nocturne Malphite, the bans from M5. So Nocturne is a bit of a very aggressive jungler that can kind of bring these kills in. And Malphite, of course, shuts down top lanes very, very hard. And then the final ban from EloHell, from EloHell ban aimed at M5 is the Shen ban. They just don't want to see that global. Although I don't know that Diamond Prox plays it that much.
Urgot left open. Urgot left open and immediately locked straight in. So Genja Urgot down that bottom lane is immediately going to be a big, big thing. Now, what we have been seeing a lot from Moscow 5 lately has been the Janna-Sona combo. Now, Sona is available, and he is a big, big fan of Gosu Pepper. What, Sona's a fan of Gosu Pepper, Gosu Pepper's a fan of Sona. You know, either way, it sort of works in that favor, and it is entirely possible they could go for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosu Pepper has been saying recently, if they give me Sona, I win all the time, and there he goes. He did go 6-1 in the laning phase, I think, in the SK Trophy that you were casting in chat.
Yeah.
I love that game. That was so much fun.
He was so aggressive, and I mean, and he said it in his interview. You know, I've talked about it before that, you know, he mentioned the fact that has had to possibly change it to Orianna here for the mid lane, which is an interesting one. I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
Well,
he's locked it in.
Shusha plays a lot of Orianna. It's maybe his second most play at the moment after Gragas.
Okay.
So there could be a counter pick. There could just be them saying, we're not going to let you be comfortable at all. I mean, Shusha has Ari still. That's going to be his third go-to probably. But that is probably a bit of a counter pick, and they have the Soraka. I don't think Shusha plays AP Soraka, so they're not going to steal the Sona.
Yeah, they did need to worry about it going, and of course there's Shyvana being picked up, and as you called it, Ari will be picked up. So that bottom lane at the moment is going to be a very, very tricky one for EloHell. So it's going to be Corki Soraka versus Urgot Sona. So that's going to be two champions in your face, shoving you pretty hard.
There's the Maokai. Sorry, the Maokai. That I just wanted to point out that is exactly the kind of aggressive jungler they need. And Veggie, of course, great Maokai player. And I heard rumors.
Here we
Scott
go.
Parkin from Riot was telling me this, that he actually heard that they've been playing Jace in bot lane.
I said it.
So you said it.
It's
you are
me
not
that said
Scott
it.
Parkin. This is your new
I
name.
am not Scott Parkin. Yeah, they were playing it on what was the tournament? There was the other day. It may have been the King of the Hill that Panky was doing.
The Interlow one.
He's kind of up there, but he's kind of lounging, so he's not really listening to us.
Unfortunately.
I think it might have been the King of the Hill tournament. I definitely saw Jace being played, but unfortunately they have switched it out, and they are going to go that Jax lane, like you mentioned earlier on. They like the Jax Zillion. It is going to be Jax Sona being locked in, so that is a very strong top lane. We're going to have traditional, I guess, almost to the style of Kiev right now.
Yeah.
But with the Jax in the top lane, Shyvana in the jungle, Urgot that bottom lane, these are some very regular characters we're so used to seeing in Moscow 5 lately. And it's funny because we were saying, you know, Moscow 5, they used to be so creative. We don't get to see that anymore. They're just so standard.
Darius.
Oh.
If they locked that in, that would be downright. I'm not going to say it. But Darius would be so much fun.
It is
locked in, actually.
Jax Darius top lane.
I don't know how it works out. I think both are going to be super scary. These are lanes that can kill very, very quickly. Let's try to actually keep an eye on that lane the whole time. And let me just say one more thing. The Shyvana, the reason that she kind of a little bit fell out of favor is that people started seeing that strong ganking junglers are very scary again. But having that strong ganking jungler on Maokai is going to mean that the jungle is going to be left open for a good time. And if there is one team in the world that knows how to pull off the counter jungle, it is going to be Moscow 5.
It is going to be Moscow 5, and they're very quick in the jungle as well. Shyvana can be a very, very fast champion in that jungle. Yeah. And compared to Veggie is a very aggressive jungler from what I remember playing him. He even used to be Jax in the jungle. Jax in the jungle, he played, I'm trying to think of the other one that he used to pull out there, Blitzcrank. He used to do Blitzcrank in the jungle as well, which is something we don't often see these days, certainly in the top tournaments, definitely in the EU Nordic East realms, he definitely used to play it, so it's pretty heavy lineup for them, but honestly, in terms of picks, you can't look past the Moscow 5, can you? They've got champions they are comfortable on.
They have a safe-ish bottom lane in that they have the strongest sustain support, but even that is not going to be good enough against the Sona and an Urgot. Probably the most aggressive support at the moment, that Sona. Let's just talk about a little bit about the chemistry between the two players that MF5 have in the bottom lane, because it's an actually very unusual bottom lane in that normally you have two people who both want to farm or who both want to be aggressive, and in a recent interview, Gosu actually said that they couldn't disagree more. Genja just wants to sit back and farm the whole time. He says if Genja can go in, burn a flash and a heal to get a guaranteed kill, he will not do it. He will literally refuse to take the kill, and Gosu is of course the exact opposite. He will go in and get a kill and die for it because he can.
Well, and that's where you see sometimes the arguments that arise, and people sometimes, will say, oh, okay, they're arguing down that bottom lane, but, these guys, there's a lot of money at stake here. I mean, they went and won the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships, 50,000. Well, we're heading towards a 3 million prize here. That's a pretty huge goal.
Two, but still, two is still pretty.
Well, two is a pretty big goal. Yeah,
yes,
as the games panned out. But well, it's 2 million for first, is it, or is it? I'm not sure. I don't know how the split is.
The prize pool for the season 2 championships is 2 million. I think the entire season was 5 million, and 2 million is just the final tournament. But I'm not
pretty
sure
big.
The regionals probably have a little bit of a prize purse as well. It's not been announced yet, but it's not going to be too shabby. Let me put it that way.
No, I would not expect it to be. We're at $40,000 for this event, obviously sponsored by Riot Games. It is the European Circuit Championship for Poland, get the exact wording right. But again, we're not seeing any aggression from the level 1. This is actually surprising because it is Moscow 5, which used to be the team to do it. Still, I stand by, really, Team Solar Mid are probably the only team doing it these days.
It's true, and I think it's because Moscow 5 have been doing it so much that it became almost a little bit predictable, and teams found ways to abuse the fact that Moscow 5 are so aggressive. So maybe Moscow 5 just went back a little bit too far in the other direction and said, like, if you're in doubt, we're gonna be safe. And this team is probably one that they expect to beat if it goes to the late game, so they don't really mind too much. And Alex almost seals the big raid there with the ball. It was a very nice attempt, but it didn't quite work out. And no invade coming. There is no real strong invade champion on either team, really. So, I mean, the vision that the ball gives is, of course, great, but it's not that much in terms of damage. And actually, nice pull there onto red for Diamond Prox, who's going to start with red. And Lee, I would expect him to gank aggressively from the get-go.
Yeah, and let's see how he does it. If you just joined us, Moscow 5 are in the blue, and on the top it's going to be EloHell in the red. And CLG have just gone 1-0 in this group against... My mind goes blank.
Ocelot World.
Ocelot World. I keep calling them Existence as well. Ocelot World. And it was a close game for a while, but unfortunately Ocelot World were not aggressive enough, in my opinion. Yeah. But here is Moscow 5, and they are a team that have been used to aggression. And immediately we're going to see how this top lane works out. Honestly, I expect Jax to probably lose out in the early phases.
Yeah, we just saw this. The hemorrhage stacks on Jax actually do more damage than Jax probably would have expected, and he failed to land the counter-strike in return as well. I think if he'd landed the counter-strike and got another guaranteed last hit in, he should have won the trade, but Kuban doing a very good job there. The Q actually has a really good range, and if you remember the way that Darius works, the Q does more damage in the outer ring. So if you hit somebody just at the edge of your Q, you actually do more damage.
Yeah, meanwhile down this bottom lane, as expected, Moscow 5 shoving that lane back in their faces. It is that big advantage you get in the bottom lane. Yep. There's the power cord onto Soraka as well. Alex and Shushe have clearly had a little bit of an exchange there. You can see just on the rates at the moment is Shyvana, so Diamond Prox possibly going to go for this one. Genja at the moment, though, is just shoving that lane up so heavily. I mean, how do you stand on the whole blue-red situation side of the map? Meanwhile, in the top lane, they are going to dive in towards Darian. He's going to get away from that one, though. Veggie tried to get in there, tried to get the poke, but Darian quite easily just jumped to his minions.
Sorry, what were you saying before that? I was so excited.
So the whole thing is the blue-red debate that goes on.
Yes.
Yes. Jats obviously had his opinions on it. It's a very hard one to really... I don't know, balance out possibly.
Let me put it this way: if you give a team currently the choice, I think they're always going to go for blue. Yeah. So they definitely perceive an advantage there, and there may be one. But obviously we have a team of very, very... Oh, actually in the mid lane we see Shushe going in very strong against Alex there, but he's losing the trade. But I was going to say we have a team of very strong balancing people who
Shyvana
work
going to go for Veggie here. Veggie is taken down very low. Shushe is very low as well. Oh, the ball just missing. That Dismate would have landed. That possibly could have been Veggie going down. Diamond Pro trying to take advantage of it. Immediately went looking for the Wraiths.
If the numbers are clear, we can fix it. That's my point. Ooh, I got it out. No one interrupted me. Very good.
Nobody died during that little phase. But Power Chord again, and Gosu Pepper again, trying to be the aggressor in that bottom lane, trying to force it. But this is the mid lane, with the way the fight seems to be happening. And again at the top, Kubon pulling in Darian there. The bleed starting to build on him, and Darian's just going to have to back away from that one. So as it stands, I would say mid lane and top lane are both actually pretty even. Maybe Jack's even losing out currently, but this bottom lane definitely seems to be going the way of Genja. Hosan is trying to do his best as it is. And in terms of CS, it is very even between the two. So nobody, despite the poking pushed on towards the turret, is staying very even this bottom lane.
You very often see lanes where you always see one guy at very low health. You think, he must clearly be losing the lane. But then you look at the CS and like, actually, he's not doing so bad a job. Because remember, whenever you go and harass somebody, you give up some CS. And in bot lane, we are going to see Diamond Procs actually coming in here. But Hosan must have spot him. Actually, Crom had to burn a flash to be safe there. Still no first blood in this game, Lee.
Still no first blood, 5.5 minutes gone. And the junglers returns back to the jungle. And both of them have been pretty quick. Be interested to see how the GP10 stacks up here. We have got Sona. This time, Ghosty Pepper going with the boots and the pot to start with. So he's not going towards GP10s early on. We have got the Cage's Lucky pick coming out on an Orianna again, which is sort of becoming a standard for an Orianna in that mid lane. They've been going towards this GP10, certainly in tournament play.
Yes, the Ari actually with the
Ari,
GP10, yeah, but yes, exactly. Saw the last game as well. The Ari actually built a Heart of Gold and a Cage's Lucky pick, which was strange because they had a sort of like an early game setup. But generally, there's a lot of mid champions that actually do the GP10s now. We did nerf Heart of Gold and Philistone a little bit, but of course, Cage's Lucky pick is unchanged. We see top lane Darian jumping in on Kubon. It looks like he's starting to get to the point where he can actually maybe win some trades. It's 35 to actually 23, so now actually Darian is a little bit behind, and I think that's because he went home, while, yes, Darian only now went home.
He went back, he's got his Ninja Tabby, so he's going to feel a little bit more confident against Darian. Darian just going back. Darius.
Sorry, I was first.
yeah, Darius and Darian, it's going to be so confusing.
Yeah.
Let's not get Draven on the map as well. Let's just cause all sorts of problems. But yeah, he's been back, he's got himself a Ruby Crystal and that Doran's Blade, so going very aggressive as I smack the microphone on my headset. Sorry, apologies about that. Ari is just going to put the ward down, and also going to try and get a little poke on towards Diamond Procs there. But Diamond Procs continuing about his way. In terms of farm between the two, where you can see junglers are dead on even, but more aggression from Shyvana, I feel, as he just look at the two builds. He's gone for Philo Stone on Maokai. Again, this is going for that GP10 build, so everybody is stacking towards quite heavily these days. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm guessing Soraka is going to be going the same route.
I'm not even sure. This is the Jace patch, maybe the patch before we actually nerfed the GP10s. I would have to ask somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. But anyway,
not me then.
I only implied that. GP10 is always very, very strong. If the game goes long, and usually teams at these levels know how to, draw out a siege if need be. And if you have more GP10s,
Darian's going for it here. He's going to try and dive onto him. The Ignite surely going to be the first blood. Yes, it will be. Darius manages to get the kill. It is Kubon on that top lane, and had to use everything he had in his locker there to get it.
Nicely done from him, and that's.
Oh, they're diving mid.
Oh,
they're going to go for Alex.
Alex here. He flashes out. The Twisted One still hits him. And see, the charm is already is on cooldown from Shushe, so there's not much follow up. And Alex is very confident after he saw that they missed it. Actually, he went forward again. I think that was the last burst from Shushe's ultimate there. So nothing going to come out of that right now.
Yeah, but Maokai is going to make a route round, try and pick up those raids, take advantage, does smite it down. Diamond Procs, meanwhile, helping out. Alex is just going to come around, pick up that blue, although I think that looked like the blue. Oh, no, he did finally pick it up. I thought for a second there he actually took it for himself. He's like, we're going to come around, I'm having it. And it wouldn't be the first time. It does depend on the champion. And it was good to hear Diamond Procs' views on the junglers and which ones he prefers. As it is at the moment, obviously, Lee Sin is his big favorite. Was available, I believe.
No, he wasn't he banned? I thought he was banned. Oh, we'd have to look. Diamond actually pulling red, but Kubon is just around the corner here, and Veggie is coming in as well, so they may want to contest that. And there is Shushe as well. Diamond Procs now in a very bad position. He gets a little bit of poke. He is going to ulti out. Better than Hotshot, he knows how to ulti.
Oh, that's harsh.
I'm sorry, I had to go there.
You had to go there, but he got the red, used the smite, and got out on that ulti. You could see he was building up to it, and a very nice invade again, as we would expect from Moscow 5.
Yeah.
So just over 9 minutes gone so far. The gold very much even. Just the one kill currently to EloHell, having that slight advantage in that top lane, which we thought may well come out from Darius. And if Darius can start getting stacked up heavily, what that ward from Darian plays straight on Veggie there, and he's just going to take that clear straight out with that Oracle. So Oracle already. Shyvana, I don't believe, has gone for an Oracle yet. Instead, he's gone towards the Wriggles. Yeah, he's just going to go towards the Wriggles Lantern, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like that's the path he's going to go. The top lane, of course, Kubon did pick up that kill, so he may start snowballing. They say that top lane snowballs like no other lane, but I'm really not so sure with the Jax. Again, we don't see Darius that often, unfortunately, but I'm not sure about the late game scaling versus Jax. Jax, we just know, is a late game monster. A bit of a setup currently in mid lane. Veggie sees that there is no ward, so he may hang around for a little bit here. So keep my eyes on the other lanes as well, just to make sure they don't trick me again. Very, very patient play there from Veggie. He is going to go in, he flashes, there's Charm lands as well, there's the ultimate, and the ultimate from Alex is coming out, but there is a clean pickup for Veggie actually. And EloHell should be very, very happy with this. An early 2-0 lead, but Lee, now the question becomes, can they actually follow through, or are they going to fall to the same problem that Ace had?
Well, that's the question. Diamond Pro had the Ignite put on him as well by Shushay there. Also managed to get the glass ball on him. So just feeling he can push it a little bit here. Shushay taking as much advantage as he can. Is he going to go for the full dive? I don't think he will. He'll just try and take as much damage on towards the turret as he can. Tries to land the charm on Diamond Prox, but instead is just forced away, and Diamond Prox will farm up quite happily. So 11 minutes gone. Still no dragon sniffed at or looked at. There's no wards really down the river either, so it's very much open to the junglers. And Veggie so far has been successful twice in helping out. This time he is going to come around. It is going to be the dragon, and they've just warded up their Diamond Prox. Are they in a position? Jax is a long, long way away from this one. EloHell are going to get this one for free.
It looks like it. M5
no.
are poking in a little bit. Shushay is around the corner as well. Genja probably just wants to put a little bit of poke down, and they did not manage to steal it. Not quite. But Shushay going in with a flash and a charm. Perfect flash reaction timing there from Gosu. Immediately flashing away as well. So everybody is going to be just happy there. And that is a dragon for EloHell.
So 1k gold advantage currently to EloHell. Could they be the upset? Could they be the shock of the group? Moscow 5, could they lose their first game? It is very early days, but it is currently on the cards, which is something Moscow 5 probably were not aware of. You know, I did mention earlier that Curse got caught out. They were looking at being a 3-0 in their group, and then they lost to Meet Your Makers.
Yep.
So suddenly it's like these things can happen. It is just a best of one group stage. You know, you can easily get a couple of shock results in there where it could certainly catch you out. Meanwhile, that bottom lane continuing to shove back and forth between the two. 91 CS currently on Genja, though, 75 to Corki. So that advantage slightly in favor of Genja, but of course, as the dragon has just been picked up, it evens things out.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a point there a second ago, but
it was there and it went.
It was there and it went, exactly, yes. So the thing is that there is definitely a very strong fan base for EloHell here, and we always joke about it. Yeah, you can hear the audience roar, but it may be actually a real effect. Yes, I remember my point. Yes, M5 have not been doing too well recently in online games, online tournaments, and people always say that M5 are doing this on purpose, that they just like to give the enemy a false sense of security. As we see Veggie come in here, showing himself very early, it's not going to be a successful game right now. I don't actually think Moscow 5 purposefully lose online tournaments just to give people a wrong impression. Because that would not just be cheating themselves out of a little bit of prize money, that would also be cheating themselves out of the most valuable training experience they can possibly have, because there's no better training experience than an actual tournament where you know your enemy is going to try as hard as they can.
Absolutely, yeah. There's absolutely no reason to throw tournaments or anything like that, and I would be very surprised if they do that. You know, and you can see, you know, the passion that the Gosu Pepper gets. You know, he will be very angry at the end of a tournament if they've lost and, you know, not performed as they feel they should do. And at the moment, though, Moscow 5, you know, they can sit this one out quite happily. They can farm it up just as well as CLG did.
Yep.
You know, just remember back to North American CLG in the Intel Extreme Masters, the semi-finals, I believe it was, versus CLG, where they were all up against it. They were back in their base. The split push in CLG suddenly backfired. Hotshot got caught out, and Moscow 5 absolutely made them pay throughout the whole tournament and just drilled it home, that advantage. And they were... You know what? I actually saw tears from Alex Sitch after that game. They were very emotional. That was a big moment for them, because obviously, you know, the smack talking that came out after Kiev was CLG NA would have beat you.
Yeah, absolutely. And CLG and were feared for their split push, and Moscow 5 probably didn't quite know if they had what it takes to deal with that, but it turned out the Nocturne pick that they had back then was exactly what was needed for it. Let's talk a little bit more about top lane. The CS still are dead even, but Kuban has been having 2 gold potents for the longest time, and it looks like Darren is not building in that direction at all. So let's have a quick look at how this actually stacks up for the gold. Yes, he's actually 1,000 gold ahead of Jax at this point in time. So that is quite a big advantage. You wouldn't think it just look at the CS currently. So that means Darius is definitely going to be a stronger influence on teamfights, at least in the near future, before Jax's crazy scaling starts taking over.
Indeed, he's already got the phase. You can see he's built that up. You can see the Trinity Force is slowly being built, I guess, by both. I'm not too sure whether Darius is going to go for that. Jax almost certainly will be. As it is at the moment, though, Orianna has been struggling a little bit in that middle, certainly for mana. He's gone for that Chalice, got the double Dorans, hasn't built any mega items, I guess you could say yet. No large items. Darian does get the counter-strike down on towards Kuban there, does a bit of damage in the backside. Veggie, meanwhile, is creeping in the top jungle. I can see that Shyvana's also down there. Kuban taken out very low by Darian, but they're going to both launch onto him, and Darian will get dropped in the meanwhile. Very nicely done there, and that was just unfortunate because he was looking on for the kill there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was brilliant play from Kuban. He knew he didn't have enough to finish him.
Diamond Procs.
What is happening?
He's going to come around. He's in the tri-bush above them. Looks like they're going to make a counter push on towards his bottom lane. They are both on full health. They're just going to shove that lane up. I guess they're going to see a proper crescendo come across. They've got to make sure they don't group completely. Gosu Pepper's going to be looking for this one. Diamond Proxy's waiting his time, and Grom just walks straight into that bush. Exhaust goes down on Grom. Is he going to ulti across on towards Grom? Grom's just going to walk away from this one like a boss. Very nicely done. And you can see Orianna was also coming down. Moscow 5 unable to pick any ganks up so far.
Yeah, they should pick up this turret if they wanted, but actually Ari is coming as well, so if they want to fight under this turret, that would be a very bad idea, and yes, they are, in fact, backing off from this. That was well played. Let me just finish the thought from Kuban in top lane. He knew exactly he didn't have what it takes to kill with the ulti, which is, of course, what you want to do with the ultimate, so you can have no cooldowns. But he knew he could do enough damage that Veggie could finish it, so he ulted and instantly flashed away. And actually, Kuban is impressing me there in the top lane. And, you know, Darian is not too shabby a top lane player himself, a very, very stable player, very, very feared. But currently, Kuban is, I would say, he's winning that top lane.
Yeah, so Orianna has just backed away. Orianna actually leading by about 30 CS at the moment, so has that slight advantage. Has got an assist kill on Ari, though, so Chouche is slightly, probably about even in gold just because of that assist. Darian now heading down south. Dragon is due in around about 30 seconds time, which is why I expect him to be coming down here. I'm trying to look at a tiny little preview monitor we got here. We don't have that overlay that you guys at home have, which is a fantastic advantage that everyone can see. Hosan has been locked on though. They can see from Genja the Acid Hunter coming out. Veggie meanwhile is lingering. Darian is going to stroll past. Can they catch the Charmander? Yes, they can. Manage to get on towards there. Veggie will dive in. There's the Orianna ulti on towards Darian, but Darian may well be the wrong target. Veggie with an Oracle is going to get dropped there, and that is the first blood for Moscow 5. Finally get themselves on the board with a kill, and surely will lead to an opening for Dragon.
Yeah, the problem was the rest from Team EloHell just wasn't there, and there were too many members of Moscow 5 up there already. Dragon is now at about half health. I'm not sure if EloHell really want to go in. There is the swap coming with the crescendo immediately. Everything jumping on Chouche. Chouche is in the back right now. Hosan has come in though from above, and Kuban is going to be the first to fall here. M5 are all about half health except for Genja, who's doing just fine still. And I don't know if EloHell really want to keep going for this. Maybe if Chouche lands a good charm, there's a charm onto Genja, but Hosan actually misses the rocket due to the charm, and Darian now gets the stun down on Chouche. That should be a very dead Ari. And there was a ball coming as well, so there's no way he was going to get out of there. A little bit too aggressive there from EloHell to go back in there into that one, especially with Genja still having that much health.
Yeah, as soon as that Dragon had gone down, they should have... sorry, the Dragon didn't go down. As soon as Veggie had gone down, they should have realized we're not really in a healthy situation. They are going to try and get in on Dragon, though. They realized that Moscow 5 have all backed off. They could try and rescue this situation very nicely. Veggie has been back and bought another Oracle, so you need to be careful on that one. He will certainly pick up this Dragon, and that will balance things out nicely. The gold, actually, advantage will go back to EloHell, despite the fact they did just pick up 3 kills off the back of that fight.
Yep, looking very good for them. The gold is absolutely dead even right now. There's a big wave for Kuban to farm in top lane as well. That just looks so tasty right there. I just want to play just to farm this wave. Osan is probably going to go back home and shop. Let's see how far he is. He has 1,600 gold in the bank, so he's probably going to build his seal or his phage. Phage first, I guess. He is building toward Darius the Phage. He's, of course, building toward Trinity Force, as pretty much any Corki does. Let me just point out, Orianna has finished Athene's Unholy Grail. She is not going to have any mana problems whatsoever anymore. And the base stats on that item are so tasty as well. 90 AP from an item that gives you basically unlimited mana. It's a pretty strong
Cooldown,
item.
gives you everything. 10% cooldown, I believe, in there as well. There's all sorts of items it gives you. It is a fantastic item. It owns 15% cooldown.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And 12% of your max mana restores as well. It's just on a kill and assist. It is a fantastic item. Just a shame about the name.
Because you're such a good Christian, and there's no other reason to be unhappy with the name.
Absolutely, that's the only reason. Darian, meanwhile, jumping on towards Kubon here, seems to have the better of him now. You can see the Ignite going down on Kubon there. That's just going to try and force him away. Kubon's just going to back off. He will be able to get himself back in there. The bleed still currently on, and there's Shyvana just being shown out. They are going 1-for-1. Darian is going to have to back away from this one. The ulti, I believe, was already used there. Yes, it was by Darius. And now Diamond Prox thinking, can he dive him on this tower shove? I'm not too sure. I think Darius may well back away from this one. Yes, he will do. Kubon is going to recall, and Diamond Prox is looking at pushing that tower, and this may well be the top turret going down here.
Yeah, especially with Kubon backing off right now. Veggie was around, so Kubon could have tried to maybe bait a dive, but that is always a very, very scary thing to do, especially with Diamond Prox, who just knows how to transform those dives into actual kills. He's not going to take down the turret right now, so not too much of a difference. Actually, the minions were strong enough. He knew that. I didn't. That's why he's a pro. It is a very, very even game at this moment, and you would generally expect that.
Oh, Shusha's going to go down surely here. Just one little hit. Alex Hitch is taken down so low. The Ignite running. The tower hit. It won't be enough. The heal pot is running just about to save him.
Oh, and I was looking at bot lane where Darian is setting up for yet another dive. There is a swap coming into Hosan, and a beautiful Crescendo locking everybody up. Crom is going to go down to Jax. He uses the wish actually to survive a little bit longer, but Kosu was soloing Hosan the whole time. Genja is going to walk around, should be able to, almost caught him there with the Ace Hunter, but Hosan is about to go down to Genja. Yes, a little bit of a reaction time. There is the flash. There's a flash after him, and that is one dead Earth.
Wow, and you know what? Did you see that? He used Flash to get a kill.
Yeah, apparently Kosu doesn't know his AD carry very much, but that was a point where they'd already used a lot of resources, and not to convert that into a kill at that point, I think, would have been too much even for super conservative Genja.
Yeah, Genja definitely following through on that one. Quite happy to go with that one. Be interesting to see actually how he does, whether he switches to Ezreal if Urgot's not available. We saw it obviously earlier with Slepper playing a lot of Ezreal. Yeah. Seems to become a favorite again between the players. And yet really not a lot happened and changed with him. It just seems to have become flavor of the month, whether it's a case of what people have been playing against. It used to be Corki. We had Graves for a long situation. As it is, seems to be Ezreal again. Shusha returning back to that middle lane. He's been back to buy. He's got an uneasily large rod now, so he's got a little bit more ability power. Oh, Darian, a great charm on towards Darian there. Kubon is going to surely finish him off. He's going to get that counter strike off. It didn't get the stun down. Diamond Prox coming up. Didn't want to get too involved. Has got that Oracle. Has to be careful because there's a big burst potential coming out from Shusha now, and you can see that's why Diamond Prox is just dancing around trying to dodge those glass balls.
That was good, well played there from EloHell as well, not to go too deep for that dive. I mean, it's always exciting to see a deep dive, but they didn't know how far back Orianna was. They knew that Diamond Prox was just around. I don't think they had vision on Genja at the moment as well, so that was well played. Yeah, Shusha is building toward straight Death Cap, and I believe that's probably going to be the next thing that comes out of Orianna as well, unless she wants to go for Deathfire Grass. Now they're going in on Alex Ish. Actually, he has to burn a flash. Shusha still has a couple of ultimate charge, but at the same time in bot lane, we see a swap onto Grom, and that's going to be the kill on Grom. Acid Hunter actually not hitting Hosan, but it doesn't even matter. He is slowed. He is going to go down for the double kill for Genja there, who actually got a... how did he slow him? Was that an exhaust?
An exhaust that went down there, yeah. An exhauster from Gosu Pepper, I'm guessing. No, I'll tell a lie. No, it's actually from Urgot.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so we did manage to take him down. Very much case of, yeah, well, you've got no tower. Where you going to go? We've got you caught. And there was a double ulti quick combo. So that bottom lane certainly working out very well. 0-0-5 for Gosu Pepper, 3-0-2 for Urgot. And really, that is just turning things massively in their favor. 182 CS as well, 152. There's the Trinity Force completed. That may help them out a little bit. But the problem is, Urgot is always very tanky. So that's not going to be your target. I would say, if anything, Alex Hitch is probably the target right now.
And we were talking about how EloHell should be looking for an early game win as we're watching Darian run through the enemy enemy forest here. Veggie may find him, or Kubon may even find him. He's between a rock and a tree right now. And Veggie goes in on him right now, but he does not know how many members of EloHell are around. The Twist Advance is going to go in there. The Decimate here pulling him back right in, and Darian is going to go down. And of course, it's not the Decimate, it is the Apprehend that pulled him back, yes.
Yeah, indeed, got yanked back by Kubon. You did see Alex Ich come in there to try and help out, give him someone to leap to, but it wasn't quite close enough.
Yep.
So red buff up. I think Urgot's just going to go pick that up by the looks of it. Meanwhile, it looks like EloHell actually considering possibly a Baron there. It is 25 minutes in. It is entirely possible, but I think they just want to shove this mid-turret down as quick as possible. That seems to be the best route right now. You know, it may feel like just because they got that kill, they have this big advantage, but they are 8-4 down still, and there's been some pretty hefty kills coming from Genja here. Genja, is he going to go for the position reverser? Has got that Guardian Angel complete now, so it's incredibly tanky.
Yeah. We were talking about how EloHell should have to try and win this in the early game. That's not quite what is happening, but they just had a couple of big item purchases as we see them possibly going for a dragon fight here. The DFG actually on Shushay, so I thought that maybe Alex was going to go for it, but Shushay wants to just burst somebody down very, very quickly. Corki has his Trinity Force, as does Darius, yes, right now. But at the same time, of course, Alex is picking up the dragon here uncontested. So there's a little bit of a gold lead right now for M5, not too much to write home about quite yet. The big items, of course, on M5, you mentioned the Guardian Angel on Genja, the Trinity Force on Darian, the Athene's been sitting there for a while on Alex, and I would assume he's going for a DFG next as well. It would make sense, he has 2 of the items required for it already. Let's just see how well Ari will manage to burn somebody down with that DFG in all her burst. And they may actually bait a Baron fight here.
They may well bait it. I'm not too sure if they're going to, though. They're going to certainly lose this mid-turret, though.
Yep.
They're not going to be able to react to that, and that went down with about 3 chops of that big axe from Veggie. Meanwhile, Shyvana may well walk in straight towards it. Oh, yes, straight towards it. He did actually see the ward there, though, and realised the danger that he was putting himself in. Not sure if he realised the danger, how close EloHell are. And interesting, they are backing away from this fight. They do not want to engage Moscow 5 in the open here. They prefer to use their tower. And now Moscow 5 going to pile on towards that tower. This could well cause the fight. There's a charm on Darian there. The Orianna ultimate does go off. Darian gets dropped very quickly. Diamond Prox now having to use that ulti. They're all standing in the fire. Diamond Prox actually backing away from this one. Moscow 5 are getting dropped left, right, and center. Genja's surely going to go down. Kubon just needs to jump on him one last time. Genja, he's going to try and make an escape for it. He has got Guardian Angel. Will he be able to get far enough? They're surely going to know the route he went, and they're not going to pursue him instead. Could they turn their attention to Baron, which is what they probably should do here? They need to take advantage very quickly, but they don't have the hit points to do it.
In fairness, that would have been a good kill, especially with the Guardian Angel onto Genja, but for some reason they decided not to chase there. Very, very interesting fight there. If you looked at what Orianna was doing, she had the ball on Jax and used Jax to transport the ball into the fight, then used the shockwave, and that looked really, really great. But during the fight, they also dropped the turret, and while that was great for them that they actually did manage to drop the turret, that also meant a lot of auto attacks that didn't go to the enemy team. And once that kind of team that we see on EloHell has a little bit of an advantage in a team fight, they can really bring it home with people like Corki and Ari that can very, very quickly burst somebody down. Kubon again using his ultimate very early, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it looks so cool if you can just clean up and get the pentakill with the dunk after dunk after dunk. But sometimes that's the greedy thing, to wait for that. Sometimes the right thing to do is just get the damage when your team needs it. Never mind the cooldown on your ultimate. If you drop the important member, and I think it was Alex Ich that dropped to it, that is all that your team needs, and then they can clean up from there.
Absolutely, and it worked out very well. Kubon now pretty well fed, it has to be said. 3-1-2, got that Trinity Force. Like you mentioned, he had that GP10 early on. Probably quite a stretch ahead, I would guess, in terms of gold. 9,200 gold compared to 7,200. So now 2k gold advantage over Jax. You know, in terms of kills, yes, he's got more, but 2-4-2 for Darian. He's just having to play catch-up at the moment. Luckily for him, you know, Genja in there, 3-0-2, still didn't die, has that big advantage. Now could they catch out EloHell here? There are only 3 members. They're not in the right position. Darius is going to show himself down that bottom. This could give Moscow 5 a bit of an incentive to maybe dive for Dragon. Instead, no, they're going to dive for Kubon. And Kubon is now the target. You can see Jax heading down. Jax will be coming out the tri-bush any second now. There he is, and that's going to force him down. Meanwhile, Orianna also heading off down that south. They're going to realize which way they're going. They're going to try and cut him off. Jumps on him, counter-strike. Didn't actually proc off in time there onto Kubon. He didn't manage to hit it at the right time. Kubon, Darian now he's going to try and turn his advantage. And now they're actually baiting them because because they're going for Baron. The rest of EloHell are trying to get Baron down as quick as possible, so that kill has come in. I think the rest of the team have realized that they've only stripped half the hit points off Baron in time. Shyvana now has suddenly appeared, and now they're going to go, oh, but Diamond Prox is getting shredded down. He's got that Oracle on. He's going to make his way ulti in. Will he have time to smite it? He's going to try and hang around. He does get the smite down. Very nice play from Darian there. Now Veggie is going to get a kill, though. Veggie will get dropped as well, so that's 2 Oracles gone down from both teams. Grom's going to get dropped by Alex Ich. He's now turned his attention to Hosan. Hosan was dropping in seconds. Shushe is going to get shredded apart. Urgot's surely going to finish this duel. Gosu Pepper's going to steal the kill. Wow. Straight in the backside. And Hosan, the last man standing to survive from that. And well, Moscow 5 was so quick to react to that.
I did not think that they would be able to turn that Baron fight around. I thought that they were too far pulled out of position by chasing Kubon, and it was a great decision from EloHell to go for that Baron, but they just underestimated how well M5 can recover from something like that. And 206 right now, the scoreline on Sona as well. So Gosu once again showing that maybe you want to start banning Sona against him. I don't know if it's worth a ban slot, but it's definitely something that would make him feel less comfortable, because currently he just spams those Sona games. And while this was happening as well, Darian went back bot lane and farmed it up and just pushed the bot lane all the way to the turret as well. So Darian looking pretty nice now as well. He's caught up to Darius, to Kubon again in farm. He may find Veggie here, but I don't think he's going to go in by himself. So EloHell looked for a moment like they actually had a pretty cool move there. They had a pretty cool idea, but it just didn't work out for them. And M5, too concentrated, even going in with a numerical disadvantage, turned it around, took the Baron, and took the kills.
Yeah, and the problem is, I don't think they had a ward there. I think they just thought, hang on. And it's the classic StarCraft moment. If this is happening at the bottom of the map, what is happening elsewhere? Yeah. And you just have to look around. And I think they just, they just sunk. Why is nobody coming to help this guy get to Baron quickly? There's got to be something going on there. And EloHell, well, they tried it. It didn't quite work. But if that had paid off, it could have turned the game very much in their favor. It didn't, though. Moscow 5 currently now have that lead. They are 12-7 up in kills. You can see they've got 2 towers up as well. And just the damage coming out from Alex is just starting to really pay on to Kubon there. That was just a simple QW combo there that just shredded about a third of his health off, which is not a good move. He's going to have to go and try and get some magic resist possibly on there. As it is at the moment, he's just sold the Philo Stone. What's he going with? He's got a Guardian Angels.
All right, it's going to be one of those games. The Dragon goes to M5. No contest there at all. That was wise as well, of course. There's not a lot of AD damage, I want to say, from Moscow 5, but it probably really doesn't matter because Genja can stay alive so very long. The Seek's Herald also great support item to just make Jax and Genja a little bit more scared. Guess what? Alex buys a Guardian Angel. That's 4 Guardian Angels in this game right now. 3 on M5, 1 on EloHell. So they're definitely falling behind in the Guardian's Angel Arms race.
It's going to be one of those games, and the Guardian Angels are on certainly the members that count, let's put it that way. Yeah. Zeke's also, and that's going to actually, ulti was just used there. Yeah. Wow, did you see the size of that tree?
Yeah, that was a big tree, and he used the flash as well to get in range. Didn't he? No, he didn't use the flash, he just used the Twisted Advance. Okay, so yeah, just the ultimate from Diamond Prox, so that was not too bad. That's maybe not the most important ultimate that M5 have at the moment, so that is probably going to be okay. EloHell are up against the ropes, though, Lee. They need to keep their composure right now. They need to wait out the siege, wait for the right moment, basically pull a CLG EU and find the right second to engage on the enemy team. They're not too far behind. It's definitely not unlosable. They might even win a fight out in the open, but they shouldn't risk it at this point, I feel.
Yeah, it's something they need to be careful about, but I don't think Moscow 5 are quite confident enough to dive them on the turret there, although Alex is going to try and get that ball across and see if he can manage to pull anyone in. Instead, he pulls it to Diamond Prox. Is he going to launch Diamond Prox in there? I don't think he will. It's going to take a little while to get his ultimate back up in place. So remember, Diamond Prox doesn't have that really available yet. Doesn't have the energy. I don't know, is it energy? What is it class? Is it rage? I can remember which one.
Probably
we go
Wrath.
With. It's the Wrath. Oh, okay, that's what we're going to call it. Is it
Fury? I always call it Wrath. People always call me out on it, but there you go. Fury. Yes.
Fury is the one they're looking for. Just but yeah, I mean, in terms of EloHell, they need to be careful on what they engage now. They need to be careful. If they can maybe catch someone out, which happens. We saw it with CLG. They caught out Alex Ich, remember. He just walked into that bush and they were ready and waited. It's entirely possible they could catch somebody out. But as it is at the moment, they need to be very careful in their defensive prowess. And you can see they're going to start forcing on towards this tower. They cannot afford to lose the base turret. We've seen that's how CLG held them off. They need to hold that base turret as all their life. Meanwhile, it looks like CLG, Moscow 5, sorry, are going to turn on towards this top turret. I've got CLG on my head now, and they are going to work on this bottom turret. Top turret's going to go down. The bottom turret hasn't really got too many minutes going towards it, but it is going to be another inner turret taken down. 5-2 advantage goes to Moscow 5.
And 10k gold almost.
Oh,
There's the
switch.
position reverser onto Shushay, who uses his ultimate to get out of range. Darien is still on top of him, though. The tower is shooting Darien. That should be one dead Jax there, yes. The GA actually does proc. Alex is now with the tower aggro, but EloHell has to fall back. Not sure if they can fight as Kuban now going in the front, but if they focus him, oh, actually,
Wow.
Grom just chunked down there. And M5 are going to turn around. They have not lost anyone. They've just lost a GA on Darien, and they are going to pick up that inhib. Beautifully executed there. Shushay did get out in time, but by the time they were this deep in, EloHell just didn't have enough damage to finish them off.
And just not enough damage, and like you say, they did manage to catch him very nice. Probably not the ideal person to give position reverser on, but again, you know, the ultra passive man is the one that's initiating here.
Yeah.
So if he's going for it, then clearly it's a kill to be had. And Jax, everybody's going to back away. Looks like EloHell are going to try and take advantage of this and see if they can just shove up that mid lane as quick as possible before Moscow 5 get by, and come back fully healed up, which is exactly what they're doing. And I think the chunking came down. I did see the Death by Grasp was used. I didn't see who it was used on. I'm guessing it may well have been.
Probably was Jax, I would guess, yes. Yeah. Yeah, Jax did just lose his GA there, but they did drop him down pretty quickly.
No, sorry, I meant Alex Itches, sorry. I saw his was on the cooldown as well. I think he went for Veggie, actually.
That's what would have probably been Veggie, yes, yes. And you said it, Shushay is not the best person to swap in, but, you know, neither is Corki. He still has his Valkyrie and he has his Flash as well. So, who are they going to swap in? Veggie, maybe, because he is building a little bit more support than tank jungle, but probably not the best target either. Once they've used their stuff on him, there's still going to be a lot of damage there.
And this does seem to be the problem. Where is the damage going to come from at the moment? It's starting to become a problem. If it seems to be mostly Darius, and obviously Corki's trying his best with that penetration. He's now got the armor pen, from the last Whisper he's just completed. It's as much as damage as he can, but unfortunately he's not able to get involved because he's got to be so careful that he's got Darien jumping at him, he's got Diamond Prox jumping at him, he's got Genja trying to position reverse him. He's got to be so cautious at the moment. It's a tough life as an AD carry.
And Lee, I have an update for you from the Guardian Angels arms race. Shyvana has also bought one. So they're now 4-1 ahead in Guardian Angels. I think we should introduce that stat to our
Gosu Pepper's building one. You can see it. He's building it.
Yep, they're going there. They're going to be all winged. They have a theme going. Because we're in Poland, and the Husare, of course, were those famous knights with wings on their back. That's what they're doing.
I'm sure that's why they're doing it. Yep. So Baron has spawned, and it looks like they're going to start it. I don't think EloHell have got any vision about this one. Oh, Soraka's going to come and place that ward in. He's going to get position reverse straight in there. Does flash out. Grom immediately gets jumped on by Darien. There's the crescendo coming across from Gosu Pepper. Darien is going to drop. This time the Guardian Angel is not available. The Ignite will finish him off. Hosan managing to pick that kill up. They haven't taken Grom down. Now Diamond Prox also low. Pulled in onto Alex X. Alex X's Guardian Angel will get popped. Kuban's going to surely leap straight on him. Diamond Prox is ready and waiting for that one. Kuban is going to go down in the mix though, and immediately that's going to be Alex Itch also going down. Kuban with his own Guardian Angel now pops back up. Genja's Guardian Angel goes down. Gosu Pepper goes down with the Oracle as well. Diamond Prox will go down with the Guardian Angel again. But Genja, meanwhile, is off on the side here. This is a whole Guardian Angel fight, and they've had to kill them at least 20 times. And Genja's come out with a double kill. Can he get a lock onto Veggie? Yes, he can. The Acid Hunter's going to come out. One more Acid Hunter, a triple kill and an Oracle down. And still nobody picked up the Baron. That is a 5-for-4 fight with, actually, to be fair to EloHell, they picked up about 15 kills there.
There was one person alive on the battlefield with 380 HP, and that was Genja. Everything else died multiple times. I have no idea, Lee, how you just made it through that
Genja died as well. He lost his Guardian Angel.
He lost his Guardian Angel, yeah, exactly. Wow, he was the last man standing with about 380 HP there in the end, and just look at that battlefield. Oh my god. Yep, that's exactly the kind of thing that you see, and that's what we saw on the Fnatic M5 thing as well. People just keep coming back up. Of course, though, let's not forget that the Guardian Angel does have a 5-minute cooldown. So in the next 5 minutes, they don't have this, I'm going to pop up pop back up again ability. So if EloHell want to fight, now be the time. And actually M5 goes straight for the next Baron. They're like, we have some unfinished business here. This is what we started out with when they came and rudely harassed us and took our Guardian Angels of us.
And Grom is back there again. Did he go for the position reverser? Not this time. Onto
Well,
Grom.
it's available.
That's what started it all off, and instead he just had to back away. And they're going to pick the Baron up here, and that's going to be pretty much for free. There's not a lot EloHell can do about it. They've just had the maddest exchange in the world.
Yep.
And honestly, they came out all right in that fight.
They did actually, yeah. For a moment it looked like they could win it, but Genja just so tanky in the end. Deceptively tanky really with the shield on his W. When you think you have him down, you still don't. Remember, the shield also scales with the armor and magic resisting builds. And they are going back for the inhib there in mid lane. EloHell may want to engage on this. There is the Shurelius coming in, the Twisted Advance going down onto Alex H. Coupon uses his ultimate very early on Alex H as well. He gets killed, but he picks up the kill on Alex H in return. And right now, Genja uses the position reverses onto Chushi there, but he's gonna fall. He takes Veggie with him. Ari shuts down Genja there. Hossan is actually still alive. So this may not look too bad for EloHell right now. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Darian is jumping in. He is going to get a lot of damage. He still has his Guardian Angel though. Now they're going to switch to Diamond Procs, but Chushi may be a little bit too far ahead. And now it's just Hossan and Grom. And oh no! Darian is in there and Grom is not going to go anywhere. Lee, what just happened? Did you count?
A 5 for 2 that exchange, yeah, absolute craziness. And well, you know, that was just a perfect counter strike. He jumped in at the last minute, bam, stunned them both, caught them both out, absolutely ate them alive. There's the Nexus turret going down. The second one probably will follow as well, because Darian is now incredibly strong. And the Nexus is slowly dropping 23-13. What a game we've just had here. EloHell put themselves in a really great situation. For a while there, they had it. They had a chance at taking it. Moscow 5 just proving their experience, but really, what a fantastic performance. And now, you know, CLG are watching this one, and they're going to be thinking, this is not going to be an easy match ahead of us here. They've got to be very careful of it. And of course, the opposition, which we just had, I can't even think of their names right now. Who's the other team?
Ocelot World.
Ocelot World. Oh, why do we always get Ocelot World wrong? How do I forget Ocelot? But yeah, Ocelot World are also going to be thinking of this and thinking, damn, this is going to be some tough games.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody thought this is going to be such a clear group. You know, M5 and CLG are just going to stomp everyone, take on all comers, and just, you know, take the group. They have both won their games so far, but both of them much closer than we would have expected. And that Baron fight with the GAs, you know, when I go back home here, I'm going to load up that VOD and I'm just going to go through it at like a quarter speed and go like, what actually happened? Because
yeah, it's absolute craziness, because you're like, oh, he's dead. No, he's back. He's dead. Oh, he's not. Who's back? Who's dead? And I saw Genja go down early on because he was the one that did the position reverser to start with to get in there, and he just snuck around the side. Like, you all fight there. I'm the other side of this wall. I'm just going to throw over my acid hunters and get a lot of kills. So triple kill came out from that one. Stats are pretty crazy. Genja went 9-1-6, 2-2-11, 3-1-15 for Sona. Gosu Pepper, man, you've got to ban that Sona. He's just so strong with it. And alongside him with Urgot, you know, and it's a flip of a coin for the group stage. So they got lucky with the blue there.
Yep.
If EloHell had started with blue, I think that could have been a slightly different game, because it was a very close to start one, but absolutely fantastic match. 40-minute game as well. I mean, any last words you'd like to say?
I am very happy it was a close game, and I look forward to hearing what they will have to say on the stage about just what happened right now, because I am still not entirely sure I processed everything that happened there, Lee.
No, I can't process it, but hopefully Carmack can. He's going to be down there with the players in just a few moments.
Dobra. Okay, so we are here back with one of the winners of the game, Alex H from Moscow 5. Może brawa dla zawodnika z Rosji. And of course, Jaws from Riot Games, who will conduct the interview. I'll do the translation. Ja będę tłumaczył jak zwykle.
So, Alex, EloHell put up quite a fight. Did you expect a rough match from them? Sorry.
Spodziewaliście się tak ciężkiego meczu?
Yeah, we did expect a match from them. Because first time we were playing them, it was like same 40 minutes game, then a Nashor steal from us, and then we steamrolled after the Nashor steal. So in this game, it was like the same top fight, and then we stole the Nashor, and then we steamrolled with Nashor buff.
Tak więc spodziewali się ciężkiego meczu. Pierwszy raz, kiedy grali, też był długi mecz. Też po Baron stylu wygrali i tym razem było podobnie.
Your team plays a lot of Sona. What is it about that champion that you really enjoy?
Wasza drużyna gra Soną i dlaczego tyle gracie Soną? Co wam się w niej podoba?
Sona, Gossip Pepper likes Sona because I think of ultimate and our strong laning phase.
Gosu Pepperowi podoba się Sona z uwagi na ultimate i dobre lane'owanie.
Do you have anything to say to this fantastic crowd as well as your fans at home?
Czy chcesz coś powiedzieć do tłumu tutaj?
Thanks everyone for rooting for us. Thanks everyone for watching us. I love you. I want to say thank you to BenQ, MSI, and Moscow 5 for helping us to bring us here. And I want to thank my girlfriend that is rooting for me and my parents. No, and all fans, of course.
So, we're gonna show a quick trailer on the stream, and when we are back, we will be showing Moscow 5 versus CLG EU. Stay where you are.
Congrats on the win. Can't wait for the next match.